In the world of NASCAR, winning a championship is the pinnacle of achievement. It's a moment that should be filled with pure joy, celebration, and the sweet taste of victory. But for Ty Majeski, the 30-year-old driver who clinched the NASCAR Truck Series title at Phoenix Raceway on November 8th, 2024, that moment of triumph came with an unexpected and bitter twist.
Ty Majeski was fined $12,000 for not attending a media appearance. Now, I know that
just days before his championship victory, Majeski found himself at the center of a controversy that has ignited heated debates throughout the NASCAR community and beyond. The newly crowned champion was hit with a $12,500 fine by NASCAR for missing the championship for Media Day. The reason for his absence? He was exercising his fundamental right as an American citizen. He was voting in the 2024 presidential election. Let's rewind to November 5th, 2024. As millions of Americans headed to the polls to cast their ballots in a pivotal moment for the nation, Majeski was doing the same in his home state of Wisconsin. He even shared a smiling selfie on social media, proudly displaying his "I voted" sticker. It was a moment of civic pride for the driver, but it quickly became a point of contention with NASCAR. The issue arose because November 5th wasn't just Election Day, it was also the day NASCAR had scheduled its championship for Media Day in Charlotte, North Carolina. This event, as we've come to learn, is considered one of the most crucial media obligations of the entire season. NASCAR takes these commitments very seriously, so seriously in fact that they're written into drivers' contracts. When Majeski arrived in Phoenix a couple of days later, he addressed the media about the situation. He explained, "I felt like I needed to do my duty as a U.S. citizen to vote. My team owners and I, Duke Thorson, Rhonda Thorson, and Allison, we all made the decision to exercise that right. Majeski's decision to vote in person rather than use an absentee ballot was deliberate. I wanted to make sure my vote was counted," he stated. It's a sentiment that many Americans can relate to, especially given the heightened awareness around voting integrity in recent years. He added, "I've always in my whole life been an election day vote guy. I've never done an absentee ballot." NASCAR's initial response to Majeski's absence was that they were unaware of the specific reason he missed the media event. According to a NASCAR spokesperson, the team had only informed them that Majeski would be absent, without mentioning it was due to voting. They stated that had they known the reason, they would have worked with Majeski to accommodate both his civic duty and his media obligations. Despite the circumstances, NASCAR proceeded to fine Majeski $12,500 for failing to perform a media obligation. This fine falls under Section 4.4a of the NASCAR rulebook, which deals with NASCAR member conduct. The penalty was announced in NASCAR's weekly penalty report, most of which focused on Cup Series incidents at Martinsville Speedway. Tucked at the bottom was this gem: Ty Majeski for ThorSport Racing was fined $12,500 for failing to perform a media obligation. Majeski understandably found the penalty unprecedented and announced his intention to appeal. "This has never happened before," he said. "Election Day, everyone knew it was Election Day for a long time. It's unfortunate circumstances for everybody. I don't think anybody wants to be put in that position, but we have to have a free country to race in, and that's just part of being a U.S. citizen, so I wanted to exercise that right." Yeah. The appeal process brought this story to its next chapter. On December 11th, 2024, the National Motorsports Appeals Panel heard Majeski's case. The three-member panel, consisting of television executive Hunter Nickel, former South Boston track GM Kathy Rice, and former driver Lake Speed, ultimately decided to uphold the fine. Their explanation was succinct but impactful. Driver failed to meet contractual agreement with NASCAR, one of the most, if not most, important media obligations of the entire season. The panel determined that Majeski had indeed violated the rules set forth in the penalty notice and affirmed NASCAR's original penalty. This decision has shocked the NASCAR community and beyond. It raised questions about the balance between professional obligations and civic duties, and whether NASCAR's stance on this issue aligns with broader societal values. The timing of this controversy adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Majeski didn't know he would be part of the Championship 4 until after the race at Martinsville, where he finished 11th to advance on points. This was just a few days before the media event and Election Day. Majeski explained, "I didn't know I was going to be in the Championship 4 until a few days prior. Yeah, we certainly knew about it. I didn't specifically have much communication with NASCAR prior. I let everybody internally at ThorSport handle those communications prior to not being there on Tuesday, so I feel like they knew our position, and it's kind of unprecedented." The fine of $12,500 is not an insignificant amount, especially for a Truck Series driver. To put it in perspective, this is roughly equivalent to the payout for finishing in 10th place in a typical Truck Series race. For Majeski, it's a substantial financial penalty for exercising his right to vote. The reaction from fans and industry insiders has been swift and largely supportive of Majeski. Social media platforms have been flooded with messages of support for the driver. One fan wrote, "Priorities on point, well done man, screw their fine." Another added, "Expensive sticker, totally worth it. Thanks for voting." Some have even questioned the legality of the fine. "Dude got penalized for voting," one person commented. "Isn't this illegal?" It's worth noting that Wisconsin, Majeski's home state, is one of 28 states that guarantee employees must get some time off to vote. According to Wisconsin.gov, employers are required to allow staff to have 3 successive hours to vote. However, the unique nature of NASCAR's schedule and contractual obligations complicates this issue. The controversy has also drawn attention from prominent figures in the NASCAR world. Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of the most respected voices in the sport, weighed in on the matter, suggesting, "I'd give him a break this time." However, NASCAR has shown no signs of reconsidering its stance. This incident has sparked a broader discussion about NASCAR's priorities and the balance between professional obligations and personal rights. Many are questioning whether media obligations should take precedence over a citizen's right to vote, especially given the infrequency of presidential elections compared to the regularity of media events in NASCAR. There was also the question of how this might impact Majeski's performance in the championship race. He was set to compete against Corey Heim, Christian Eckes, and Grant Enfinger for his first Truck Series title. The added stress and controversy surrounding this fine could potentially have affected his focus going into the most important race of his career. Looking at the bigger picture, this incident raises important questions about the rights and responsibilities of professional athletes. Where do we draw the line between contractual obligations and civic duties? How can sports organizations better accommodate the personal lives and responsibilities of their athletes? It's worth considering the potential long-term implications of this decision. Could it discourage other drivers from participating in the democratic process? Might it lead to changes in how NASCAR schedules its media events, particularly around important national events like elections? The controversy also highlights the unique challenges faced by NASCAR drivers. Unlike many other professional athletes, NASCAR drivers often have to balance their racing careers with other business ventures and personal responsibilities. This incident serves as a reminder of the complexities involved in managing these various aspects of their lives. This situation also puts a spotlight on NASCAR's rules and enforcement processes. The rigidity with which the rule was applied in this case has led many to question whether there's enough flexibility built into NASCAR's systems to account for extraordinary circumstances. It's important to note that this isn't the first time NASCAR has faced criticism over its handling of driver conduct and obligations. However, the intersection of sports and civic duty in this case makes it particularly noteworthy and controversial. The Majeski incident also raises questions about the role of team owners in these situations. Majeski mentioned that his decision to vote was made with the support of his team owners at ThorSport Racing. This suggests a potential disconnect between team management and NASCAR leadership when it comes to prioritizing certain obligations. Some have pointed out the irony of penalizing a driver for participating in the very democratic process that allows for the freedom to hold sporting events like NASCAR races. It's a complex issue that touches on questions of patriotism, duty, and the role of sports in society. In a recent video, NASCAR legend Kenny Wallace addressed the controversy surrounding Ty Majeski's $12,500 fine for missing a media appearance. Wallace acknowledged the public sentiment that
appearance. Now, I know that NASCAR's always the bad guy with all of you, and I just came out with the most beautiful quote. Basically, it goes like this. People love sports, and they love to complain about sports. So all you all are doing is complaining about the big man. That rule has been put in place. Ty Majeski is a champion. He's a great race car driver. And I know that you all want to get in NASCAR just because it's fun. But Ty screwed up. Now, Dale Jr. chimed in yesterday and he said, "You're right, Herman, but I'd give him a break this time."
Wallace referenced Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s suggestion to give Majeski a break, but emphasized the importance of rules in the sport.
All right, boom. That Clay's, the boom means that's the gavel coming down, bang. That's over. That's a rule. You don't like the rule, but there's a rule. You have to attend the media appearance, and if you don't, you fine 12 grand. It's not like they just made it up. So I win, okay? I win. You lose, because that's the way it is. Just because you don't like a rule don't mean they go, "Oh, here's the rule, but man, let's not pay attention to the rule because the fans don't like the rule." Wrong. You guys like rules. You just like, once again, let me give you the new phrase that I put out there. People love sports. They love to complain about their sport. That's you all. You love to complain because you're bored ass. You bored ass, just like me. So you're like, I guess I'll get on social media and complain.
If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on upcoming content.